everyone, and welcome to the GSCS podcast. My name is Maliki. I'm going to be joined today by Ice Panther and Exiled Boys. How are we doing today?
Pretty
Pretty
good.
good.
Yeah.
Now, we got some business to go to because there are a couple of topics that we really need to get to here. One of them. I mean, let's just get down to business. Who leads the MVP GSCS race? We talked about this in the other podcast that we had right before Event 3, so let's talk about it right here because there's a lot that's changed. I mean, Rayless is arguing for people like Optic and Expo. I know Garrett's probably going to be voting for Exiled. I feel like Legacy definitely deserves a lot of the praise in this situation. So Ice Panther, I want to ask you who, in your opinion, leads the MVP race going into the major?
I mean, look, any member from Team Violet can fight for it, but once again, they only played in one event, so I think they need to show for it in the major. But honestly, Mel, I think I will back you on this one. I think I will say Legacy. I mean, he has been someone to fight for Blizzard for such a long time now. In every event, he has put 110% playing. And let's be honest, I mean, without Legacy, Mel, I don't think your Blizzard roster would be in the top 4. I mean, top 8, yeah, but top 4, I mean, I think Legacy's really put your team on the bracket.
On the map?
Yeah.
On the map, yeah.
I think so too. I feel like we could. I'm not going to say we could still be top 4 without Legacy, but again, Scythe and Solar are still very, very good players. Azumi is definitely still up there too. Azumi hasn't grinded the game, like especially since he was teamed with Mellow and Clouds back in Event 3 of Season 7. And since then, he's kind of fallen off, but he still proved in Event 3 to be a very consistent factor for our roster. So it should be interesting to see what happens there. Exile, who do you feel like deserves the MVP race for the players that you know in the GSCS?
Again, I'm not gonna pinpoint it down to one player. I know everybody on Violet's good, but same as Ice Panther. I mean, they've only participated in one event, so it's hard to call them one of the main MVP targets, I'd say, I guess. Whereas Legacy has been through all of them. Legacy's doing good. Top 4. I don't know if I'd give him lead in MVP, just due to no first place finish. But I'd say he's definitely up there. As for first, I really have no clue. There's just so many people.
Yeah, that's true. I think again, I still feel like Legacy is the player for me. Event 2 recap. It means Event 3 recap. I promise. We kind of entered into an interesting spot. So, for you, Ice Panther, kind of tell us where you guys stand for Kyohaku Esports going into the major, and what happened in Event 3 for you guys, and how you feel like you can deliver with your matchups in the major.
Look, it's a little stressful. I mean, because we want that top 4 finish, but it's kind of it's difficult to fight for it. But we're still learning playing without our best, and I feel like every team's got their star player, and if they really make that much of a difference, you should also figure out how to play without him. And so that's kind of like testing me, Miles, and Zoom at the moment, because how can we, compete against the very best if we don't have Xenix, who, let's be honest, had really kind of carried our team in every event of last season, at least. This season has been such a struggle. But at least we are making the top 8, and I think now, in the last event, we didn't really show for it, but I think now in this major, I think we have a good side of the bracket where we can actually move forward.
There's a one side death bracket and the other side is
exactly.
pre-shell.
So the thing is, the only really dangerous team is Sue. In our opinion, that's who we're looking at, because when we got put on this side of the bracket, when we got put on this side of the bracket, we were just like, oh my god, this is incredible how lucky we got. We feel like Project Evil. If we don't beat against M22 Shade, it's going to be very disappointing for us. But I think we finally figured out how to stop like us overthinking. You know, we think about the other team too much. Our mental isn't the greatest, so that kind of holds us back. Grand's coaching us, so that kind of helps us. So I think we can actually make the semifinals, maybe even the finals, because we are on an easier side of the bracket. And I guess I'll say this publicly. I said I wouldn't say this, but I will say this publicly. I do think Violet and Flight, when we played against both those two teams, they were harder to play against than Sue. Even we took a game off of Violet. I personally think that. I'm sorry for anyone who loves Sue. I just, from our personal, like how we played against them, we just figured out that Violet and Fly were both two all well-round rosters. I mean, even Blizzard, but I think Sue, it was a little easier, and I think we can figure out how to beat them if we do match up against them.
So what Ice
one thing
Panther
is
is
neither of the two rosters really have like one star player either.
right.
Yeah.
What Ice
So-
Panther is saying here is that Sue just ain't it.
No, that's not true. They're a good team. They're a good team. No. They're a good team. They swept us. They're a good team, and they are better. But we think that we can figure out how to beat them compared to Flights, who we know that will dominate us. You know, Violet, I mean, was a team that we kind of try to figure out how to play against them, but they were outpacing us. And with Sue, it was kind of just like two people would pass, and if you knock out one person out of the equation, you know, that person can't pass anymore, and that's all they did. And their passing plays were phenomenal. If we can at least apply more demos onto that team, we can beat them. That's what I'm saying. I just think they're a good team and everything, but I just think it's harder to play against Flight and Violets compared to Sue.
Mhm.
All right, Exile. Tell me what your thoughts are going into this major. What I mean, looking at the matchups.
first
I mean,
off,
you guys have a bye, so what do you think you can do?
I think the all top 4 teams are on one side of the bracket, unless I'm wrong, right?
I think so. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so it's just like an actual death bracket.
Yeah. I don't even know how this happened. I'm so happy.
yeah, how does seeding let that happen?
I don't know. I mean, you got Blizzard, you got Violets, X13 Black, which is
Was it just
very
like
good
randomly
team.
pulled?
No, this is like the
No, it was actually placed.
seed.
It's actually
Yeah.
it's actually placed. It's
How
not
does that
randomized.
happen?
It's actually placed. That's crazy.
How does that
Yeah.
happen?
I don't know. This happens so many times. Okay, I hate to say this, but that means I feel like we're gonna have our third one-sided grand final in a row because I don't even know.
Oh
if
no,
any
100%.
teams
100%. No offense to you guys, Ice Panther, but it's gonna be a like one-sided grand final. Since
Unless-
it's single 11.
If it comes down to it, we are hoping that if Xenix decides to like finish fixing his PC this weekend and we make it to that final day, we'll put up a bigger fight than we usually do. But it's still just that. It's just still like we need
look
to.
at
We
these
don't know how to play.
matchups, though.
No,
Like, do you
I
see
also-
Stu?
I also
It's
want to
true.
mention this is we actually have our third now
Oh wait,
because we played with the rank D last time.
right. Yo, okay, Rails. I know you listening to me, and I know y'all gonna get mad when I say this. Kenan, you know I love y'all, but you got if y'all somehow get past Flight, which is a hard matchup. All right, if y'all get past Guacamole again, which is still a top 4 team
Look,
in GSCS when they consistently play. When they played in Event 1, they were top 4. You get to Flight, and if you don't beat Flight, you're facing either Violets, X13 Black, or Blizzard Esports. Like, whoa! And then after that, you're likely facing either Sue or Kiyohaku.
Yeah, it's just a rough bracket.
My goodness. I mean, that's the realest curse.
Celestials actually has a good team, but I think that
I don't think they perform as well as they could under pressure.
Right.
No, I mean, I think look, when they were winning, right, in the last events, they realized like this happens to a lot of teams. They realize that they're like, oh wait, oh shit, we can win. Sorry for cussing. And then all of a sudden that gets to their head. What and then that mentality kind of hits them, and then they start overthinking, and then they realize. So when you start realizing that you're going to win, you're gonna choke it, and that's
Like,
happened
wait,
to even
I got
us.
an
I mean,
opportunity.
exactly. We've also seen that in RCS teams. It's just a common thing that's going to happen.
Pressure.
Exactly. So I feel like that's why, with especially our team, we're focusing on our mentality more than our own gameplay. Because if our mentality isn't up to date, our gameplay is going to be bad either way.
Lord knows
So
that's right.
we already figured out how we want to play against certain teams. You know, we've actually even studied some teams. And I will be honest, the only team that we don't know how to play against, especially, is Flight. You know, so I'm just
That's
saying,
fair because most of our
it's
matches we've had a sub as well.
well, actually, Flight and Guac, because we haven't seen Guac play in such a long time. But we know how to. We've looked at Violets, we've looked at Extra Team, Blizzard, Celestials, M22 Shade, Sue, X-Turn, Project D. Literally every single team that you see here, we've literally kind of studied and talked about how do we play against these teams. So we're gonna kind of apply a new play style in every game.
Now, I want us to quickly transition into, can Team Celestials make consistent top 8s or top 4s, or maybe a top 4 in this individual bracket? Can they get past Flight Esports? Is that a question?
I definitely don't think it's a top 4, but I think they could get a top 8 potential.
I will personally add an extra $5 if they get past Flight. I like
damn the confidence.
$5. No, don't keep my word on that. But I'm just saying that Celestials, they're a team that they're kind of like, they're especially the underdogs here. They're more of an underdog than we are. You know, and for them to get past Guac is one thing. To get past Flight is another. And Flight is a team that, like, look, they're fast. They know how to play. You know, even with a sub, they're dangerous. You know, so it doesn't even matter. Celestials, they're screwed going into the major.
Yeah, they know that. Everyone knows that at this point. That's the crazy thing. The seeding just doesn't make sense to me. That it's like
I've never seen a tournament that the seeding allows all top 4 teams to be on the same side of the bracket. And honestly, it could be more. It could be top 6 for all I know. I haven't checked.
Oh, but you know, it's just because, like, if you look at it, it kind of makes sense. Because look, Guac, they haven't played like at all, really.
The thing.
Right?
Usually you have first and second seed.
There.
Usually you have first and second seed on the opposite side of the bracket in the first place.
But they put themselves there. Right? They put themselves there.
Oh yeah, I mean, the first seed's Flight, the second's Project Evil, the third's Minimal.
Yeah. So it works out for you when you look at the teams. So you expect, like, okay, Blizzard, they're better than Minimal. Why, you know? But that's just how they were seeded. Exiled. So it doesn't make sense. It's just like they put themselves there, and I'm actually happy that we just barely made top 8 every single time because we put ourselves here and our performances.
You doing less is equaling more.
Exactly. Right? We can make the finals more than anyone else, and that's what's so crazy about this.
Hey, X13 Black, they're better than X-Term. They're better than Project Evil, but they're playing Violets. They're playing Violets, who are arguably the best team in the tournament, who are also on the same side as the 2 of the top 4 teams in Blizzard and Flight, and arguably the top 6 team in Guacamole Gang, and even Celestials, who are in the top 8 spot. So, like, yo, this is too much.
This is, you know, it's going to be an interesting, like, session of streaming on that side of the bracket.
Yo, I'm
like it's gonna be a crazy first day.
It really is. And honestly, I'm really excited. I want to cast that Guac Celestials game. I want to see if Celestials either show for it or they just flop.
Hey, you want to come to cast?
I'm curious on how we do with our third against Violets.
Because
we took like 2 off them or something.
I was gonna message you this because I am able to cast like 7 and 8 East. But then after that, we have scrims right before our match. We have one.
No, you can come. You can cast a 7 game, my friend, because that's a game that needs the hype right there.
Yeah, I'll give it to them because I want to see Guac Gang, especially that even helps me. I get to see, like, wait, this is how Guac plays, you know? Because that's one of the teams I really don't know how they play at the moment. I've really never seen them play. So if we get to the finals, we need to know who.
I will give you a heads up. I don't think they have like a play style, if that makes sense. They just kind of like default.
I mean, to us, you guys just seem fast, or, you know, I mean, we still don't know how you guys play.
No, like they just like play the game almost, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see. So, I mean, look, Celestials, Guac. I mean, I think it's a great opener, to be honest, because we haven't seen Guac play in a long time. Celestials, they got kind of this low hype.
Some more seeding.
Yeah, exactly.
Really?
And but the thing is that I really want to see Kenyon play. He's to me, I don't know if he's the captain or not, but he's like the leader of the team, and he's gonna be forcing his way through. And I think it's gonna be great to see this new Celestials team. And I don't think they're gonna win, but I want to see them play.
I think this is very interesting because you've got. I feel like people are underrating Guacamole Gang way more than they should be. Believe me.
To be fair, they've had a very unfortunate series of brackets.
But also, to be fair, they haven't played in a long time. Like, we haven't seen them play.
They played one match in Event 2, and then they had to forfeit the rest of the way. And it wasn't even their fault. So they haven't actually played in the GSCS, full matches in the GSCS since November. It's February, for heaven's sakes.
Yeah.
And people are coming over here saying, oh, I saw a couple people put inside my DMs, even GSCS chats, oh, Celestials have an easy sweep. Y'all forgot how good Guacamole Gang were when they played. They made a top 4 in the first event. And barely getting beaten by who did they get beat by? They got beat by minimal. So y'all keep forgetting, right? They got beat by, at the time, what was the best team in the GSCS and Team Minimal.
Well,
in Game 7.
There's other series groups. I think we swept them in the first one. So the thing is with life in general, and not just esports, is losses are easier to remember than wins.
Yeah, that's just true. Because look, they keep bringing back the loss against Project Evil, and we should have won that. I mean,
something bad happens to you versus something good happening to you. You're remembering that bad thing way more than you remember that good thing.
But at the same time, you learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's kind of good that you remember those losses because you can look back at that and be like, okay.
Man, as long as it ain't giving you PTSD, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do remember, I went through a lot of hard times with this team. So, I mean, of course I remember all those losses and those wins are there somewhere. But, I think there are positives to remembering losses.
Now, I do have a question. Did Guacamole Gang change their roster at all? Or is it the same roster?
Is it the same roster, Mel?
Yeah, they did change it. They changed it a little bit.
See, that's
okay, so new Guac Gang?
Team can reset. And, just new team in general.
It better be guacamole from Mexico because, I'm not accepting any other guacamole.
I don't know, man. The ones from Cali are pretty good.
Hey, true. But I mean, you use
can't hate on us, bro. Can't hate on us.
Hey, I'm Mexican and I live in California. Born and raised here. I got both.
There you go.
But no, Guac Gang, they're a good team. I think it's gonna be exciting to see. They do beat Celestials, which personally, the percentage for me is 90% that they're gonna beat them, 10% they won't. And they'll play against, Flight, and that's going to be a good game either way. So, Guac Gang, it's going to be fun to see them back.
All right, now I'll give you this. I wanna kind of transition into, is Xenix a top 10 GSCS player of all time?
We always have this conversation. We always.
Okay. Before we even get into this, I'm just gonna say that either way, even if he is or isn't, Ice is gonna be biased.
No, look. But the thing is that I haven't seen. I've been in GSCS since season 7, so I haven't seen every other player. So either I'm gonna say that he is.
I'm hoping that would have more people to.
But I wouldn't say he's top 5. Because I would say he just barely cuts it in the top 10.
At this point, I think he's probably top 10. Now, get Xenix to fix that PC of his and be a responsible person.
It depends on how he does once he fixes it as well.
Right.
Yeah, it's going to be a new feeling. And so I really want him to come back, but come back stronger. Because when he comes back, it's going to be like a debut for him. It's going to be
a fresh start.
It's literally exactly a fresh start. So that's what's really exciting, and I think that's where I get benched. But it's gonna be fresh for Xenix.
Listen, okay, Celestials. I have one more thing to say. Not Legacy. Kenyon right here, right now, is playing a Legacy game in the GSCS.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know if he knows it or not, but he's playing this major for his legacy. because
who is?
Kenyon.
Mm.
Kenyon, he's been playing in the GSCS for at this point almost a year, and he has
Forget
never.
which team is he on? I forget.
He's on Celestials,
Yeah.
and Kenyon has
I mean,
not
here's the thing.
made.
If he beats Squawk, right, and then he gets like because it is a losers bracket for this one, correct? Or am I wrong?
This is just a single elimination, my friend.
It's a single
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's even scarier.
I don't know. It's gonna be hard.
Ooh.
Like, remember,
Because he has to get past, obviously, Guacamole.
yeah,
And then he has to get past us. And then he has to get past Blizzard or Violet, right?
right.
And so it's just death bracket again.
How is like I'm still looking at the bracket and confused because once again, like Mel, I'm agreeing with you more. I'm looking at this. Project Evil's so lucky. I feel like Project Diva right now because we're lucky. Usually we get
can we like pass them first seed even though like
no.
they won? Yeah,
But,
no,
like-
they'll want it. Just off take the trade.
Throw them for making the finals. It's your fault. It's your fault.
I mean, come on.
He got first place by not too much, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But here's the thing with Kenyon, right? Like, he has never made a consistent top 8 in the GSCS. GSCS, this is something I like to keep. This is something I pride about the GSCS. I'm proud of. We protect and value our history way more than most leagues do when it comes to Rocket League. And we always bring up that because the history in this league is so valuable, it's so sentimental, but it's also very, very important for the future. So here's the thing. Where is Canyon? This is what we're talking about. Many people may not even give a damn, but it's a big thing. Where will Kenyon place in history? Where will Xenix place in history? Now, Kenyon's been in the league for almost an entire year. He's never made a consistent top 8. And the only top 8 that he did make, besides the one that he just made past, that I remember that he made, actually, thinking about it, I think he may have won an event, or before. I don't know if it was before or after he joined Epic's roster in Event 3, back in April. I think it was before. It was after, so he didn't win anything. So here's the thing: he needs to put on a show. Even if he doesn't win, he needs to put on a show.
We need to start a petition to get Kenyon a title, like a role in the Discord server. The underdog. Okay.
Bro, yeah, he's gonna be. It's gonna be incredible to see
underdog, bro.
him versus Guac King.
And then everything after that is even worse. Like,
man,
why don't we make posters for these games? You know, like make those sick posters like they do for like the Champions League.
I'm gonna just hit up Wolfie. We could have that done in like seconds. Like
having like I don't know, man. I mean, I would love to see a face of Xenix on like a Rocket League car or something. You know.
On a car. I don't know about that one. I don't know if that's how that works.
Xenix versus the world. Look,
Xenix is the Octane.
Let's get your face on the car too. Why not?
I mean,
it's enough to have it in his feet already.
Iceman's already got the Kiyohaku mug, the Kiyohaku blanket, what you got, like a Kiyohaku pen or something?
I have a shower curtain. I can show you that later.
Bro is a fanboy.
Hey man, Kiyohaku all the way. Even though we signed to Godalions, like I literally kept my merch and I still rocked it. Like I didn't care. I think I'm no matter what.
You bought the merch. Nothing like stops you from.
I am Kiyohaku at heart. Doesn't matter what team I'm on. I'm always at Kiyohaku heart. Like if
you guys are you guys their academy team?
No.
He is the Kiyohaku.
No,
I was gonna say if you guys were academy team, because most of the academy teams have like names after their.
No. So Kiyohaku it was actually a lot bigger back then, but now it's kind of just taken over by my friend group. And so we use the name for it's actually like for Rocket League teams or whatever, you know, whatever we're doing.
Right.
So we kind of just use the name, but it was a lot bigger back then, and we actually do have B teams every now and then, you know. But
you mean the one with
I was gonna say is like
we're trying to go there, but no,
just become like Godalions Kawahaku or something. Like
yeah, but Godalions.
If you were the B team, exactly.
Yeah. But no, we usually just use a name. I mean, we created it a long time ago, and we still like to rock it.
All right, this one's interesting. Is Kyohaku a top 5 team all time? Like their variation of the roster. Remember, we're talking about a similar roster that won GSCS season 7, that won GSCS season 7 event 4, that did so consistent.
Let me say this. So I think if it's me, Zoom, and Zinix that was like the main team last season, right? Like we played more. We always switched up our third, usually or second, but. If it was us three, no. But if we did put in Zoom, Xenix, and Gran, yes. Because when they did play, they never lost a game. I can't recall them losing.
Man, that's because we weren't in there. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, that could be true, but I'm just saying. I mean, you see where I'm coming from, though? Like, just like they did not lose together. So, I mean, you got I don't know, Gran, who's a great defender. You got Xenix, who could play anywhere, and then Zoom is just mechanically gifted. If you give him the space. So, I think that's my take on it.
We got the major preview. Who put two P's in preview? Okay.
They're the GOAT. Come on, man.
Talk about the preview. Let's look at the bracket again. We got Guacamole and Celestials, which is going to be happening tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We have got Violets and X13 Black tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Do an X Term tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then Haku and M22 Shade tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, the times will be kind of shifted around a little bit, just depending on where we have the desk or not, or whatever's going on. Maybe a team brings us to, just like we had in 2021, like the Dynasty versus Ice Gaming matchup, that game 7 overtime, an hour and a half. Brody, you can recall that one. Not Solar was on Brody's team when that happened back in 2021. But or 2020, 2021-ish. But the teams that are playing on Saturday are Flight Esports, Blizzard Esports. You got Project Evil and Team Minimal, which at the moment look like they may be able to play, which is why Kyohawk kind of got the free bracket here. And Project Evil are in a position to make their third grand final out of the last 4 events in GSCS, which would just be insane. They made the first 2, almost made 3 consecutively, and they're in a good spot. All they have to do is win 2 matches. They're in the grand final. The prize pool matches for the third time in their stay in the GSCS, which has just been 4 events at this point. So let's make some quick predictions for this one. Guacamole gang Celestials. Who wins this one, Ice Panther?
Guacking 4-1. I'll give this one.
4-1.
I'll give the one to Celestials. Look. It's shocked. But I think
you know what?
I think it's because look. I will say this: they're gonna start off strong. Celestials. I won't even start. I don't know. I maybe 4-2, but I think
the guy who Celestials got. They have Expo, the X2100 MMR player. He's peeking all over the place.
Yeah, but I said, they're gonna get. It's gonna get to their head. It's gonna get to their head. Look, 4-1 isn't bad. Like that doesn't mean they're getting destroyed. Every game can be close. Right. I won't be surprised if it's 4-2.
I'm gonna give it to Celestials as well.
I don't give it to Celestials. I give it a Guac.
A Guac.
I think Guac is gonna come out. I think it's gonna take them a little while, but then they're gonna start swinging.
I mean, there's a few. They're a new team as well.
Yeah, but you never know. But the Celestials know how to play against them.
Ice Panther does have a point.
Yeah, but do they know how to play against Celestials?
But maybe they do. There's more VODs. There's more VODs of Celestials.
Ice Panther has a point here because remember, I mean, I talk to Raylis almost every day, and almost every day we bring up what happens.
Is unless you're like a pro team, there's no point in going over VODs unless you played against them in that VOD.
Here's the thing. Me and Rylas, we always talk, and he always tells me how bad Celestial's mental was in the Swiss stage, and even against Project Evil. And every single time he says he went in there, he was hearing the players cursing or at him or doing whatever the hell. He just wasn't feeling it. The player's mental was apparently in the trash can, apparently. So I mean, I think that's the problem, and just for that, I would
That's
have to
exactly
give
my
it to
point.
Guacamole Gang in 6 games if the mental just isn't feeling good,
Okay,
which
I'll
lately it has
be an
been.
underdog supporter.
Yeah, but look,
Alright.
it's literally like, look, we're not saying Celeste is a bad team. They're just
No,
their mental is a lot
yeah,
worse
of
than
course,
Guac.
of course.
Celestials
And
still have things to prove, and they haven't proven them yet. They haven't
they
proved
win-
anything yet.
Yeah, it's true. If they win the first 2 games, right, it's gonna get to their head. I bet you, and then Guac is gonna come back and win 4. Like that's how I kind of see it going. If Celestials does win against Guac, which I think they can, it's possible. Good for them, but that's
They-
as far as they're going.
Celestials should be able to win against Guacamole Gang, in my opinion. But here's the thing: I'm a big history buff, right? And in the history of Celestials, the Rayless curse is real. It's still here. I'm telling you, no team that's Rayless has ever made has ever had any type of success, no matter how good they are. Remember N2, they faced you. They faced team neutral. Those are like 21 MR 100, 21 100 MR players back in Event 2. And how good N2 were back then. It's just a matter of fact. Kenyan, Expo, and Solution haven't proven anything to me. Their one chance to prove something that came in the what do you call it? The Project Evil quarterfinal match. They couldn't prove they lost 4-2 in a game that Project Evil played horrendously in. So you've got this is their one last chance to prove something. Celestials are on their last leg, and Kenyon knows it. He needs to make the most of this situation.
Now, I'm not sure how they're gonna do, but what do you guys think about X13 Black?
X13 Black versus Violets. I take Violets for
Yeah.
a hole.
Not in the bracket, but just how they're gonna
But
like.
They're
Okay. I'm so
They're
used to
even
double
more
them.
screwed than
I'm so used to
Celestials.
double
They're
them.
They're gonna play good enough.
What
We
ring is?
switched-
I feel like it's not gonna be a 4-0. But
It probably won't be a 4-0, but listen, Baby's coming in here.
Violet's winning.
Baby in my DMs, he's like, oh, I'm coming back with vengeance. We're gonna win. No one's beating us this time around. I don't care. Last event was a fluke. This one's gonna be the best of our performance. So I'm like, okay. So they're meant
Damn, he be saying a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he's talking. He's talking
And
a lot.
they're on the hardest side of the bracket. Like
He's talking. Believe me, he don't care who he's playing. X13 Black, they're gonna play good enough, but I don't think they're gonna play good enough. You understand? They're gonna play.
They're
gonna have
play
a good
good enough
performance
to like prove their point, but they're not gonna be beating.
Violet.
Yeah.
No,
They're not gonna make a top 4.
They got really unlucky.
They beat Violets. They're not getting past Blizzard. That's just not. That's just if they get past Blizzard, they're not.
I don't know. I see Violets as a scarier
Violet.
opponent than
I
Blizzard.
generally think
I see Violets as a stronger opponent than Blizzard.
once Violet starts rolling, there's no way of stopping them. I'm just saying. They take any advantage they can get. I mean, when Flight was tired in that finals, I mean, Violet kind of just rolled through. It's just how they roll.
Now, to be fair, we had a rank D.
That's true, but either way, it's a win for Violet. You know,
True.
a win's a
There's
win.
a big difference between a B and a D.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying there isn't. I mean, I think that if you guys play, which I think it may happen, there's a possibility it will go to Game 7.
Yeah, it's a very strong possibility.
Okay, so let's kind of switch this into Violet versus X13 Black predictions. I'm going to say Violet's take that for 2.
I'm gonna say 4-1.
I'm saying I'll say 4-0 just to be different.
Okay, let's switch down to Sue and Xterm. This should not be too hard. I take Sue 4-0.
Yeah, I'm also saying 4-0.
Sue against what? Who?
Xterm.
Yeah.
4-0.
If Cosmic and Pixar are playing, yeah, 100%.
I think even without them playing, I think Tim the Bull and
I think if one of them are playing, it's just 4-0. Even.
Yeah, no matter what. Yeah, that's a 4-0 no matter what.
Yu Haku Shade versus M22 Shade.
Bro, I will literally give it us 4-2.
I say I think it's a 4-0. That's my opinion. I don't see M22 Shade putting a. They're definitely better than next term, but they're not. They're almost as good as Project Evil, but they ain't that good. That's my opinion. I don't think I see them getting past Q Haku.
Me either.
All right then. Okay. So
Now
let's
it's
just look at
interesting.
this. Look at this hypothetical matchup, which is likely going to happen. We have the rematch between Sue and Project Evil. Who wins this matchup, Ice Panther? That would be the quarterfinal.
Sue and Project Evil.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Sue.
I will give it to Sue. Even though Project beat them, I no matter what, I'm gonna give it a Sue. I mean, hopefully that they do play the main lineup that they want to play. But I will give it a Sue.
100%.
So yeah, that's going to be a big. That's going to be a big match. It's going to be a very interesting scenario to look at. Okay. Oh, we have Rails. Rails joined up. How you doing, fella?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. All right. We talked about your team a little bit in this. We talked about how, in my opinion, this is going to be the legacy game for Kenyon. If he doesn't perform in this bracket right here, I don't like. He just hasn't made consistent top eights. He hasn't made consistent top eights since since I've actually ever made consistent. He's never made consistent top eights. Is like, if this isn't his opportunity to, then it's going to be like, whoa, the rest of the GSCS, since we value our history so much, history in the league, it's going to be like, oh my goodness gracious.
Ray, I mentioned this earlier. Can we put up a poll in the community to get Kenyon the underdog title or role in the server?
I'm fine with it, but the thing is that what we need this tournament, I think what we just need to go into this thing warmed up. We need to get ready because Guacamole Gang is the real test. We have to destroy them. If we have any chance of going up against Flight, we need to destroy Guacamole Gang 4-1, 4-0. If we make it to go to Game 7, I'm just gonna say this right now, pretty low chance we beat Flight Esports because they are on top of their game. They have made grand finals twice in a row. One of them they won. Second one in the third regional they did not win because they lost to Violets, which is a very difficult opponent, which they lost on 0 seconds. So yeah.
Wait,
I
which
didn't
team?
even watch. I was actually asleep when they lost to 0 seconds. I got yelled at to wake up. Oh my god, they lost it! I'm like, well, what? But okay, Edgar, tell them the little change you guys made going into the major.
What do you mean?
Which team did you mean if they're on top of your other stuff? Because I wasn't
You.
locked in. I thought they said a team would beat us if they were locked in.
Celestials.
I just didn't know. Oh, okay. I got you.
Okay, Exile. You said you picked up a third, right?
Mm-hmm.
Tell us a little bit about that third.
Well, we picked up Braywood, and we've been scamming. We did the last call LCS. So, I mean, we vibing. We feeling good.
Tell me, is he better than the rank D?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, good enough. So we did predictions, Rayless. Tell us your prediction for Guacamole. Tell us for your prediction for Guacamole Gang and Celestials.
Okay, so Celestials have looked better than ever. They took a game on Flight last regional, and now they're going to the major confidently. I'm gonna give Celestials the edge here for 4-1, 4-1 or 4-2.
My gosh, Violet
Yep, he's with me. Yep.
Violet X 13 Black.
I said
Violet X 13 Black. Well, extra team black can like if they're playing well, they can really like show up, but
They can.
that won't happen. But Violets will definitely win. I'm gonna give it to Violets for you know what? Violets literally just like 4-1 flight last regional. Violets 4-0.
I think X13 Black will show up, but they just won't be able to show. They won't be able to have the performance that they need to beat Violets.
Mm-hmm.
They can take
But-
Violets to game 7. I don't because remember
Mhm.
how good X13 Black actually are. This team is actually just so incredibly good, my friend. This team
Mhm.
just isn't.
Well,
Isn't-
there's always a reason why they're the 12th seed instead of higher up.
I mean, because they didn't play in Event 3. That's why. So
And what's your point? Because
Well,
remember, they still got points.
That doesn't.
They still
the
got
same
points. They
thing.
made it.
That's
made
not
it-
fully true, Mel, because we only participated in 2 events and we still had like what 3rd seed even without it.
you played in all 3 events.
Right, but just with the first 2 events, where we still placed very high seeding wise.
Right. That's
No,
true.
it's not necessarily true, but just because they played 3. But I do think that they are a good team.
I think everyone is still underrating Guacamole Gang way too much. There's Guacamole.
Listen, I think we played them the
Guacamole Gang?
most in the league. Okay,
Celestials
This
are the
season.
favorites for this match. I think that's Celestials
Look,
by
Guacamole
everyone
Gang-
are the favorites in this match for sure. Guacamole. I think everyone forgets Guacamole Gang took minimal at the time to a game 7 to make the top 4. And of course, you probably, I think you said you might have swept them in the group stage. Oh, no. It was, who you guys beat was Team Car. I think that's who you guys beat. Guacamole Gang, I think, faced the top of their double elimination group. Guacamole Gang, they're still not that. Guacamole Gang, remember, this is a team with Trizen, not Whale. I'm thinking about Team Minimal here, but Team Guacamole Gang, that's Trizen, and I forgot who the other guy is. But remember, these guys are still just incredibly incredible. I mean, they're not. If they're good enough to take apparently very no ranked B players, apparently to game 7, which is not much, but it's still good enough in my opinion. My prediction was 4-2 in their favor because this Guacamole Gang is the underdog in my opinion. And if he's playing a legacy game, if he cannot have a good performance in this matchup, then no.
I'm gonna say this right now. Okay, let me hear the chat's predictions. What do you think about the Guacamole Gang Celestials matchup? Because that's very big controversy. Apparently, I never knew that was. But anyway, I think. Okay, I don't know if I should finish my predictions. Do you want me to or?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and then Sui and X term. I think I'm gonna give it to X. I'm kidding. Sui probably. I'm kidding. For actually, I think X term will put up a decent fight, but it's definitely not gonna be good enough. Sui 4-1.
There's no in Luke Pixacar and
1 second.
S5 Cosmic dropping a game to unknown GC ones. Is that
I'm
No.
just saying this right now. Some teams
No.
can have an off game. I'm just gonna say this right now. If I'm right, quote me on that, Mel.
okay?
Anyway.
Then
Q Haku and M22 Shade. I think I'm gonna give it to M22. I'm kidding. I
my
can't.
gosh,
Actually,
don't say
It's difficult.
actually. Kiyohaku is
look,
to take
Q
this
Haku.
series.
I'm gonna say this right now. Q Haku is a very interesting team. They're
Lord
not
knows that's
consistent. They are not consistent at all. They are not. So I think I'm gonna give it to Q Haku. Maybe like 4-2, game 6.
Okay. Minimal likely doesn't play. If they do play, Minimal are winning against Kiyohaku. That's
Oh
a
yeah,
dub.
100%. Oh yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Me, Ice Panther, and Exiled were kind of just standing in awe, looking at how like some of the top 6 teams in the GSCS were all mushed into one bracket. Flight, Blizzard, Violets, X13, Guacamole Gang, and Celestials. Those are all teams that are inside the top 8. Flight, Blizzard, Violets, and X13 Black are all arguably top 4. So, those are that's a bracket. That's a big bracket for sure. But it's going to be very interesting to see how well these guys are going to do. So in this next match, that's going to happen tomorrow. Again, guys, these are big matches. You guys get to catch them on the Godspeed Esports channel. Godspeed ES. Go type that onto Twitch. Go follow them, and also go follow them on Twitter, and also the GSCS_league on Twitter. Y'all can find the GSCS content about that. So, can I bring in something here? Can I show y'all these cards? These GSCS cards. This is...
Don't show mine anyway. Bro, I don't know why I got disrespected so hard. Like literally, they put me as like a C1. Like what?
Let me see where Kenyon's
like they gave me my card like so bad. Kenyon got a pretty decent rating, but
here's Kenyon's right here. Kenyon, 83 overall player. That's what he was rated. That's his card rating. It's one of the more interesting cards, right? 87 pace, that's one of the higher pace. 86 shooting, 80 dribbling, 82 shooting, 81 passing. I mean, just by the way that he played in the last event, I think the passing could probably be a little higher, right? Like he really played good.
Even though this card is pretty decent, I think he deserved more. After that last event, remember, he literally destroyed Flight Esports in that game 1. If you keep that in mind, he made Exiled own. I feel so bad. I think he's actually in the skulls, isn't he? No, he's not anymore. But
I think you made him so mad he rage quit out the
he literally owned goal twice in that matchup after Kenyon hit it into his car. That's how good Kenyon played. He played phenomenal, and he got disrespected out of his mind. Kenyon played amazing. This card right here, I think this defensive card should have been higher, and now you're showing Solution, I would say those should have been higher. I also, by the way, just to let you know, everybody, the positions did not take into account. They just made everybody striker, and some of them were made differently. But Solution also got disrespected. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex, for making everyone striker. That's very convenient. So let's kind of compare. Let's kind of compare the Celestials esports card. This Team Celestials cards right here.
Oh God!
You got Solution. You got Kenyon. Let me pull up Expos. Let me see if I can pull up Expos.
I think Expo got given a pretty decent rating. I think
he did. He got given an 87.
Yeah, I think I want to say this right now. If we beat Flight Esports, I want this whole roster to go up to 90 plus, because this roster right here is phenomenal. This roster.
Here are the cards.
This roster right here is phenomenal.
So look at the pace. So I want y'all to notice something here. Kenyon has got the highest defensive rating on this roster by far. I feel like Expo, his shooting is 89 for a reason. If y'all go look at my channel and saw how Expo played in the Frost Esports tournament for Celestials, you can see why his shooting's up there. His passing is a little low in my opinion. Solutions passing is a 78. I don't know how much I agree with that. But the defensive rating, Expos can be raised up maybe to like an 85. Then I think that's a little bit better. But Kenyon's at 86. I don't know how I feel about that. It's not the best, but considering that they didn't have the best outing against Project Evil, then maybe that's an exception. But of course, you see Expo's mechanics. You can see he's by far probably the highest on the team. Probably the best on the team. He's got 90 dribbling, 91 mechanics, 88 pace, 89 shooting, and 82 passing. Kenyon, he's got 87 pace, he's got 82 shooting, he's got 81 passing. His defense is by far, I think, his most valuable rating. Pace is also up there, but it doesn't as matter because pace is just mainly on the recovery speeds. It's about the boost usage. And then you got Solution, who's tied with Kane about the dribbling, which is also 80. So, I mean, where do you feel like these guys kind of got snubbed in the ratings?
Passing. 100%. The passing. Oh my goodness. Like 82, 81, 78. If I want to say this right now, we didn't have a great showing against Project Evil, and we didn't have a great showing up against Sloth Mafia either.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember what we did in the other matchups. The passing was unreal. Expo, being the mechanical mastermind he is, like literally, you give Expo the ball, he'll do anything you want on the ball, and then he'll somehow score. It's insane to me. Expo is mechanical out of his mind, and Kenyon is basically like playing underneath Expo, basically always there, either if Expo wants to fake it or whatever. This team right here is a phenomenal team for pace, mechanical, and passing, but you see in the ratings here, Solution got given a 78 passing. I would say Solution also passes the most on this roster. Which for a 78, that's not great.
Right. It really isn't, actually, for a 78.
And then along with
terrible.
that, Expo for 80 defense, remember, wait, let me pull up the screenshot. I forgot where it is, but yeah, wait, let me pull it up. Let me go to me and my Expo's DMs. Hold up. But if I'm correct, yeah. Expo got 7 saves against Project Evil. His fellow teammate got 0 that game, and they lost by 1 in the game, and he had 7 saves. And that's just, I don't know how to put that, but 7, if you don't play Rocket League very often, 7 saves is what you might get in 2 games. He got it in 1, which is absolutely insane to me. Also against Project Evil, one of the top teams.
You guys see the players of the tournament up here. You got Optic is a 93 overall, Legacy is a 96, and then 92 in Extreme to win for the second tournament in the row is up there in the top 3 for that player of the tournament list / MV most valuable player list for the tournament. That's the second tournament in a row. I mean, do you feel like Exiled or any other player kind of got snubbed from this list with Optic, Legacy, and Extreme to win being up there?
I think I agree with these 3. I think Exiled, Extreme to win and Exiled are very close together. But I will say this right now, I don't want to anger anybody, but I think Legacy's rating is a bit high. 96, and if to keep this in mind, he plays for Blizzard, obviously not the highest. They didn't perform super well because Legacy. We have to remember
when Legacy
they had a lot of they had a lot of substitutions. But you have to realize something. You made Optic 93. He played out of his mind, scoring a 0-second goal against Flight Esports. Legacy, when he plays up against Flight, he is struggling to keep up. I've realized that. He plays it. He plays the ball with he's very good mechanically, but I don't think
here's the thing with Legacy. Legacy's more for team. Like he said, he has threes, man. He's a team player. He's not going to be based around his mechanics and stuff. If you look how good he is on the ball on offense, he's putting the ball in the back of the net. You're seeing how good he is on defense. He's getting the craziest saves. Compare that to Optic's defense, who hasn't been the best. Legacy's IQ, his decision making is up there. Optics at times was very lackluster. Legacy's passing and Optics passing, they're very, very much the same. 96, 97, very similar ratings. Optics dribbling, 94. I feel like I can see Legacy's being up there, but again, when you're in these high ranks, you have no space to really dribble the ball. And of course, Optics mechanics is going to be higher than Legacy's because of what he did in the tournament. Extreme to win being a 92, however. I mean, 96, remember, we're going off of player average here. Like, 96 attack for Optic, 98 for Legacy. I think that's fair. 87 defense for Optic, 96 for Legacy. Again, that's very, very fair. Legacy's, in my opinion, a more well-rounded player than Optic is. And both of these two are both well-rounded than Extreme to win is. So I feel like I think that kind of just checks out for itself. Can we have a non-American player be in the MVP list so I could have a non-NA or Legacy the one Canadian player? Can we have Tato? Yeah, Tato's Irish. I mean, You could put Lethal in the Australian flag. You could put him in Barbados. Like, but can we have some more diversity here? Because the American flag is starting to look more plain and plain by the day on these player cards. I'm not gonna lie.
Dang. Okay. The president of the United States is gonna come to you. He's gonna be like, "Hey, don't disrespect my flag like that," and he's gonna like send you away to Canada. And then you're
Well,
gonna say
the
you
way
like this
that he's
flag better.
shooting out
Anyway,
all of these UFOs, my friend, bro.
bro. Anyway, but so I think I think we've covered mostly a lot of stuff, but we have to. But let's just talk about a couple things really quickly. Mel,
Yes, sir.
can you pull up the bracket on the screen really quickly?
Yeah, let me do that.
Me waiting for it to update for me though.
There we go. There we go.
Okay. So imagine this scenario. Imagine this scenario happens, and that would be insane. Imagine M22 Shade makes it to the semifinal. Extra makes it to the semifinal. Extra Team Black makes it to the semifinal. And then Guacamole Gang being the underdog, so we'll send them to the semifinal as well. How crazy would that be?
Dude, that'd be insane, actually.
And then the grand final, M22 Shade versus X13 Black.
Bro.
Okay, no offense to M22 Shade.
They just ain't it.
They are not it. No offense to M22 Shade, but they don't even deserve to be here.
They don't. I mean, they're here by a little bit of luck. Like,
What
it's
are their, I've seen them play. What are they, like C2, C1?
they're GC ones and twos.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I mean they're not the best, but they're not the worst. But again, they're nowhere close to the best. Okay, so let's look at a couple more what we like to call controversial player ratings here. We got oh boy, this is going to be interesting. I'm going to see if I can pull up all of what was. Let me see where's Tremor. I want to see if I can find Tremor in here somewhere because my goodness, what was the old or what was the what do you call it? The outspeed team. Garrett was a 74, James was a 70, 82, and Tremor was a 80, 85. Now Tremor is at 80. Garrett's a 69, and James fell 11 ratings down. 11 ratings down, my friend. Ava to a 71. I don't think I can. I can't find Tremor in here.
Okay, I want to say this right now though. Okay, hold up. Can we explain something right now? What in the world happened to mine?
Ask Alex.
Oh God, Alex, are you in here? Yeah, you are, Alex, Mr. Alex. So if I'm correct, a 58 can keep up in team minimal lobbies. That's the only stream that happens. So I have no other info to show that I played in the other ones, but just saying. Anyway, you have James, Garrett, Expo on the screen. Very diverse players.
That's right. That's for sure.
You see a silver, a bronze, and a gold. The Expo definitely the best out of the three, as you can see by the rating.
All right, here we go. We
Better
got
in every single division.
What was the outspeed team? I'm about to put it on the board here. What was the outspeed team? And now what isn't?
What was the outspeed team before complications came? Let's put it that way. Anyway,
imagine Garrett is a one here. He's got the special bronze card, right, bro? What do you call this? It's not a concept card. What do you call this? Garrett's.
Let me check.
It's called a non-rare bronze. Yeah, but here they call it a special bronze. That's
Well, wait. Anyway, fuck. Anyway, Okay,
Alex,
I think
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how you did both Garrett and Relis dirty. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. First off, I want to say something quickly. 60 and below 70 and below means that like they're like C3, C2 ish. You put me at a 50. Me being GC1 means nothing. Okay, that's cool, Alex. That's cool.
Well,
I
in the
love.
ratings, it doesn't mean as much anymore as it did in the old
Well,
ratings that we tried to do.
well, it kind of means a lot when you get placed as a 58 anyway. But my page is 60. Oh my.
All right, y'all. I had enough from this podcast today. 1 whole hour.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a pain to load onto YouTube.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know how you feel. Anyway, but thank you, Mel, for bringing me here and everybody else that left and abandoned us. Anyway, but
Amen.
thank you for the having. Thank you for joining on the Godspeed. What is it called now? The Godspeed Championship Series podcast. And thank you, Mel, for inviting me. And we have Alex in the background. You want to say bye? Okay, I will take that as a no. Okay, he said bye.
He said bye.
Okay, thank you. And yeah.
All right, thank you, Alex, for helping get this thing underway in the ratings. My voice is starting to die. That's going to be it from me out of Gaming Spot, the Godspeed Championship Series, the Gaming Spot Championship Series. Thank you to Exiled, Rayless, Alex, Ice Panther, Kenyon, Garrett, Tremor, and everybody else. It's going to be time to say goodbye.